Okay, so other than the ethical concerns that we raised earlier, like who's responsible for a decision, whether the AI or the doctor? Like, what other ethical concerns are there with regards to AI in medicine?
The biggest ethical concern, Selena, is about data because right now, the biggest question is who owns the medical data? Is it the patient? Is it the hospital? Is it the doctor? Uh, that question needs to be answered. The Indian government is taking a very big step in this. They are developing something called the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, and the entire healthcare records are going to be digitized for the entire population of India, which you can imagine is such a huge amount of data set, and they are building those checks into the place so that there are proper guardrails as to who owns the data. And for every data access, you need consent of the patient. So the patient is in the loop and they know what is happening from their data, because definitely down the line, all this data will be used for training AI/ML tools and all those stuff. Uh, so I think first step is to determine data ownership, uh, so that it will improve data access and not keep it in silos, because either the healthcare data is not available or it is available but it is not accessible. So these two problems need to be solved. Uh, the ethical issue of data privacy, data security comes with this, and of course we need to build those checks in place, because once we develop AI, we should be very mindful that these tools are also accessible to bad actors all around the world. The scamming and the hacking and all those things, they have reached a new level after hackers have got access to these tools. So we need to build those red teaming concepts. There's a concept called red teaming in banking. They use it. They have a team of hackers inside the organization who try to hack the system and to expose the vulnerabilities before the real hackers do it. So I think all those things have to come up in healthcare as well. Second challenge is that second ethical issue is that with whom lies the power. Uh, like many of these tools, as you mentioned, chat gpt going on in the background, it's a private owned llm technology, uh, which was not for profit but now gradually turning for profit. And there are many open source tools as well, so which which have their own vulnerabilities and problems, pros and so we need to decide that who has the power, because if you have a single person who is processing all the medical data in the world from their LLM and they have access to it, I think that's a very huge uh, problem that we are looking at regarding power and control. So this power and control needs to be decentralized, where again some tools like blockchain can provide answer, where the entire thing is spread out and it is verifiable by different sources, and there are proper cryptographic checks in place. Uh, so I think these ethical challenges have to be sorted out, mainly data privacy, data access, data privacy, cybersecurity, and this what I mentioned, power and control. I think these are the biggest issues, and of course bias along with data. I forgot bias that comes. I mentioned that whenever you're using a particular AI tool for a population, we have to make sure that it is trained on the data of that similar population. Otherwise, what will happen is it will have the biases that are incorporated from different population and be applied in the decisions which are made down the line. And sometimes the decisions which you make in healthcare are about life and death, as you mentioned in the ICU. So I don't want any AI tool to bias my decision at that point of time in a wrong way, just because the data was biased, which was used for training that AI algorithm. So if we are able to address these ethical challenges along the way as we develop AI for healthcare, I think we'll be doing a good job.
Okay, for an individual doctor, why is data privacy important?
Data privacy is important because we as medical professionals have responsibility to ensure confidentiality and to maintain trust of our patient. That is the foremost thing. So that is why you should have proper systems, proper softwares in place to do that. If you are even practicing as a freelance clinician, uh, don't take data privacy lightly. Second thing is because there are regulations now, and more regulations are coming up. Even in India, there is something called the DPDP Act, which is the Data Privacy, Digital Protection Data Privacy Act, which is going to have very huge penalties if you are not able to maintain data privacy from your side. And it also has a special clause for medical data. So I think both the things, both from the ethical point of view and from legal point of view, we need to maintain data privacy as medical professionals.
Okay, so sounds like you can get into trouble if you're not aware of data privacy as a practicing doctor.
Yes, so data privacy, I won't say that you need to read the entire law or the act. You can maybe use maybe take a summary of it and then keep in your mind. But when you're using some tools, of course you will buy some software or you will use some EMR tool. So you have to ask those people that whether it is DPDP compliant, whether there is something in the West which is called HIPAA. So you need to ensure that the tools that you're using is HIPAA compliant, GDPR compliant. So once you have those things in place, even if something goes wrong on the side of the platform, at least you are saved because you tried to confirm it and have a documentation of it. And if something gets leaked from the platform, which can of course be, even if you are compliant to the highest level, we have learned that any system in the world is hackable. So your liability at least gets reduced. So I think that is the check that you can do, and always be very open with your patient. Take all the consents, take whenever you're using data for research and all, explain to them, explain the use of it and how it will benefit them and other patients down the line. Once you understand the technology, you will be able to do it in a better way. And if the patient decides not to participate, then also you should be very welcoming and acceptable, and you should not include that data in any of your studies with good faith.